It is shaping up to be an incredible Saturday night here at AUDL Championship Weekend. The first semifinal to get us started, the New York Empire and the Dallas Roughnecks. Picture-perfect conditions here in Madison, at the top of the bracket. New York from the east, Dallas from the south. Both of these teams getting one goal nail-biter victories to advance. We got 4 teams still alive. Only one can be the AUDL champion.
He's an emotional leader for this team, but there are times when he can be more bark than bite.
Dallas back on, turns it over for the first time, and it's Bo Kittredge trying to change the momentum for the New York Empire. On the final goal opportunity, it was basically a half a break. This shot goes up, Babbitt versus Emmons in the end zone, body to body. Babbitt elevates and comes down with a disc. This guy's in charge.
We've seen that walk from him so many times, and now I've got to start to think it's a little bit practice, but he lives for the big moments. He loves making these plays, and you can see him trying to fire up the rest of the New York team.
He's on pace for a historic statistical game.
I'm almost shocked it's not higher. It's going to have to be that way for Benyat this game, especially with Bo Kittredge playing more D.
Oh, there's a Callahan! Mike Dross did it for New York! No team in the league threw more Callahans this year than the Dallas Roughnecks. That's the 6th Callahan that Dallas has thrown. It was Brandon Malachek who had it picked off by Dross for the New York score to tie it at 12.
Well, he's looked shaky ever since that first turnover he threw. If you think back to the turnover that kind of brought the Empire game back to life.
Marquez Brownlee wide open underneath. And he'll fire deep. Looking to Meeser in the end zone. He's got him. New York converts.
Well,
it wasn't in flow whatsoever, right, Ian? I mean, you take a look. This is a great shot. As we take a look at the D, you said veteran move, boxing out. Yeah, that's really hard to do. Meeser gets it back, and he's going to score the goal, but this offense, it wasn't in flow. It was like a lot of standing around. Then Brownlee says, oh, okay, I like this shot.
And that's the kind of performance that we're going to need to see from Meeser.
The cuts in the space on the field.
Well, New York back out there on defense. As the deep shot goes up, Frood being chased by Dross, and that's an easy goal for Dallas.
You have to find a way to make Jay Frood a thrower. Can they get it done?
One thing to note about Yacht, he was involved in 10 scores in the first half, only 1 in that third quarter. Chris Larocque wants Jay Frood. Bo Kittredge wants the block. It's deflected, and Frood recovers for the score. To Frood. Kittredge trying to be active on the mark. Larocque. Oh, what a grab! In the end zone, tremendous athleticism from Connor Olson. This 19-year-old has been special today.
Well, this is a different type of beating your assignment to the far side cone. That throw starts to bend into the back corner of the end zone, past the path of the receiver. And Olson, the full extension, shoulder high, saves possession. Sometimes your athletes are just going to have to make plays. We can make all the strategic comments we want, talk about how the coach engineered the perfect situation in the red zone, but
that's one of those moments. You're as a coach, you're sitting there, young guy, please be young. Please be young and springy and athletic, and Connor Olson making the coaching look good.
Dylan Larberg launches the opening pull, and the 7th AUDL Championship game is underway. Madison on offense with Pat Treiwise, Ben Nelson, Peter Graffey, Colin Camp, Avery Johnson, Dave Wiseman, and Scott Riggles. Deep shot looking for Peter Graffey against Dalton Smith, and Graffey rises up for the opening goal.
Well, that's good news for Madison to immediately get a good-looking deep shot. No hesitation, winds and delivers. Not an easy matchup necessarily. Dalton Smith closes and makes bids on discs in the air all the time, but Graffey's so good.
Dalton Smith, he's an athlete in his own right, but he's usually better at guarding undercutters and handlers. I got to wonder if we're already seeing the loss of Dan Emmons on the field.
For the first time at championship weekend, Andrew Brown is on the field. There's a difficult reset, and it's saved by Dave Wiseman. Andrew Brown was inactive yesterday, but he takes Tom Annan's spot in the Radicals lineup today. Annan dealing with some injuries. Kevin Brown almost hit as he threw.
Got to be a foul on that throw.
But Peter Graffey makes the foul inconsequential.
Wow, and this time over Clutton. I mean, this guy is handling the deep ball well. I mean, that's probably no surprise to folks who have watched Peter Graffey play in the past, but I mean, his teammates have no hesitation putting it up deep to him against almost anybody.
Well, you see this Dallas strategy coming out, and they are challenging the Radicals to throw it deep. And maybe that they don't want that shot going up to Graffey, but you saw it even with Wiseman. They're not giving up free unders, and you saw that loopy rescued pass.
Just walking around on the streets, the turf is just really heating things up out here. Wind-wise, conditions are still, I think the crowd is still filing in and should be louder as this game goes on.
Frood looking for Wilder, and the young fella out of Texas Tech delivers. Big ups in the finals.
Wow. Seeing KPS close on that, seeing the defender right in the frame. I didn't like the throw from Frood, but hindsight's 20/20, man. A heck of a play.
Right, you want this going up if you're Madison. You have two defenders there. This is what you want. Madison wants Jay Frood throwing the disc, and this is hanging. He gets rescued.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of that, like great D and better O for Madison, forcing them to take away shots. That's not their game. That's not their comfort zone.
And here there's not any flow.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of thinking. There's so much more decision making in these kinds of points, and against zone, it's mentally taxing. And when you get physically tired and dehydrated, 2 long, hot games.
Looking for Frood, Kanaki nearby, and Frood tips it and then bids, and he's got it! Goodness gracious, Jay Frood delivers for Dallas.
History repeats itself. Jay Frood, you can get him once, but you got to get him twice. Here he rescues the play once again.
Takes more than one block to stop him. Jay Frood perseveres. Dallas by 1.
I think both defenses here are just locking in.
Oh, what a grab by Luo. And a violent landing near the sideline after saving possession. This is tremendous athleticism from the 24-year-old.
Yeah, a little air bounce backhand out to space by Drews. Kind of gets away from him, but Luau makes him look good. Look at this extension.
Well, these two franchises. Drews over to Brown. Circled his cut to get around Clutton. Coolidge, tight space up the line, runs it down into the end zone. Bruce elevates for the score. Treiwise had 5 assists yesterday. You could say Pat has been relatively quiet today as Wiseman shoots it deep. Can Graffey make another play? Yes! Graffey skies Smith. Tremendous grab from Graffey. Dalton Smith thought he had it all the way.
Look at this D on the under. Some people are not tired.
Well, we talked about whether it was going to be the little things or the big plays. Here's the little thing, right? Tip disc, who's in position, Kevin Brown making sure that's a block. And then after that, you feel the loss of Emmons because in this situation, you got to think he's going to be the one taking Graffy. And Smith can get up in his own right, but Peter Graffy.
Yeah, nice play and a couple choice words afterwards from Peter Graffy.
Peter Graffy used his left arm to brace himself on Smith's back on the landing.
Start acting, look left, throw right. You don't need to use your legs. There's no mark. It's a cup, you know.
Remember, no Dan Emmons, no Kevin Richardson to patrol the deep space. Kevin Brown gets it off. This is going to make it to the end zone. Who's going to come up with it? Final seconds of the third. It's tipped and caught. Pettit Scantling makes the grab for Madison. Breathing life into the Radicals' championship dreams.
And KPS at the end of the fourth quarter a couple years ago on the loss did not come up with the play in the air, and this year picks it right out of the air at the end of the quarter, gets this crowd going. And this was a nice, I mean, you talk about playing the end of the quarter well, getting a quick pass to Kevin Brown, full power backhand.
Well, yesterday it was getting a block from his knees. Now today it's getting the goal.
No one more excited than Colin Camp. We had the disc go off his hands. Without question, the largest and loudest roar from this Radicals crowd as KPS comes up with a buzzer beater to give Madison a 3-goal lead. He's been carrying that unopened champagne around all season. Madison potentially 12 minutes away, leading by 3 as we head to the fourth.
A double team look necessarily. I mean, you can use it, but Madison's just really good with that in their own right, so they're going to be comfortable. Their offense has played against it in practice.
There's the deep shot. Wiseman looking for Johnson. He delivers. Avery Johnson gets big for Madison. 4:44 to go. The Radicals' lead is 4.
Legacies you talked about at the beginning of the game, and what does this do for Pat Tri-Rise and Colin Camp, Kevin Brown, and then Andrew Brown? Is this his last game here? Tom Annan.
The most satisfying countdown in Radicals history. For the first time ever, the Madison Radicals are the champions of the AUDL